Hi, my name is Alexi Pukanikin, and we're ballin' today, tomorrow, and most definitely yesterday. At what cost? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. Today we're gonna do a little different of a take here because I'm truly deeply inspired by the Tim Dillon show, and I want to somehow be able to be at that high level of professional journalism on screen in audio visual form, however you say it, but I want to be able to deliver the important news to you as clearly as possible. So without skimming my words, Olympics are over, but it's still nation versus nation. It's a fight to the death still, as you gotta, when you're representing a country, when you're representing a culture, or when you're representing a culture of just a crap ton of money. That's culture nowadays too, just a unfathomable amount of money. You can represent that too. You people are willing to die for that. That is what we are headed towards, because no, ladies and gentlemen, the holiday is over now. Even for the working class, we are back into the regular routine. And with the regular routine, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2024. I don't think people really comprehend what's going to go down, because I think AI is going to take over the world in about less than 5 years. But anyways, with that being said, it makes everything else. I hope everyone got their. You got the toxic acid, whatever that's in your blood, out of your system. Whatever that, the tension in your muscles, all that. I hope you had a nice spa day. I really hope everyone had a nice spa day relaxation where you just took care of your whole recovery, of the physical being. I hope in the mental way too, that everyone just committed to fully relaxing and recovering throughout the summer holiday. I hope this is what all the Formula One drivers did the past 3 weeks, because that was their little, I'd consider it a pretty little, it's a long season. It's a very long season. They needed that breather, even though it was about 3 weeks, and now it's race week once again. These gentlemen, they're young, they're adrenaline junkies of the, again, just, it's ancient. This is ancient stuff right here. Which man can wield the power of the mightiest horse? This is a fight to the death. There's big oil money. There's politics involved. There's everything. This is one of the few sporting leagues that has ties with every single corner and major profitable corner of Earth. It's a world tour of this is the mightiest horse, artificial horse, right? And who's the man that can wield the utmost potential of it? Okay, so let's just assume every single one of the drivers, they were responsible during the summer holiday by being incredibly irresponsible. I hope they did whatever degenerate thing they needed to do to get it out their system, right? Try that new thing with your lady in the bed, right? Get that out of the way. Do whatever it has to, a little side note. This comes to show these guys are completely addicted to traveling and flying around. It's not even, there's very few of them are actually, I'll just actually stay in one place and not really. No, these guys, even on holiday, 3-week summer holiday, they're flying place to place. I mean, I guess they're so in tune with the jet lag, but it shows you these guys are hopefully ready to deal with, first off, the bullshit. I hope they're ready to deal with the bullshit, that first, and then the overall pressure of the moment itself. Ten more rounds. It's a countdown from 10 downwards. Are you kidding me? No. There's 10 more races to go. I don't know if it's a countdown for Red Bull and Max Verstappen. They're both currently leading in their own respective championship categories. So bullshit first. Let's get the bullshit out of the way first. It's the team. That's where there's gonna be the most bullshit. I predict a lot of bullshit for this upcoming, I guess you can still consider second half of the season. I think there was already we ended with bullshit. There's been so much bullshit and clear and concise bullshit. Austria, Max and Lando just crashing out on each other. The most recent, George Russell disqualified. Hungary, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri switching around, and that just being a whole freaking Hollywood script of just a passive aggressive dialogue. I didn't know they actually still tried to be it's it should have just been Lando, you pussy, slow the fuck down, and Oscar's gonna take over in the next corner. That, Zach, I don't know. It's just, maybe McLaren doesn't have the best HR freaking, resources on Earth. I don't know. But, okay, the bullshit. I got a little off topic. The bullshit. Red Bull leads at 408 points. They are leading right now in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes, who won most recently, they won the race before we headed into the summer holiday in Spa. Supposed to be a 1-2. George Russell disqualified. Lewis Hamilton takes the dub instead. The GOAT, who proves he's hasn't lost form at all with a new and improved Mercedes. They're at 266 points. Okay. So what is that for? That's like 42 or whatever. So, yes. Mercedes, I'm not doing the math over there. It's always so funny. This chink right here is never gonna do math ever. No, I love calculators though. My brain isn't. So, 266 points, and they're the most recent winners, and they pulled off a theoretical 1-2. And they had the old setup of a car. The closest competitor to those guys is Ferrari, who are actually 79 points ahead at 345 points. So Mercedes, even though Silverstone, Lewis took a dub, that was also theoretical 1-2. George Russell's race got a little bit ruined. Same thing with Spa. Mercedes looking, and they're somehow still 79 points behind Ferrari, who are at 345, which leaves us with McLaren, who sits sandwiched in between Ferrari right now at P3 in the constructors, and Red Bull sitting at 408 at the top. McLaren, Mercedes, quote it, you gotta really think about this. The Mercedes engines, they're catching up a little bit. They're chasing down the leader from 366 points. Okay, so Mercedes, even though they've kind of like after on the beginning of the second quarter of the fiscal year or whatever they were at 266. They were struggling. They bounced back to 266. They're 100 points behind McLaren, who are chasing down the number one guys. McLaren, right now, they're just 42 points. If McLaren can keep up the 1-2s, Mercedes are still kind of challenged a little bit more by the Ferraris. I hope the Ferraris took a nice reflection and upgraded whatever parts they needed to upgrade or update real quick, get the freshest ones real quick, so then now it's going to be no problem, at least on the smaller things. But who is the man? Who is the warrior? Who can operate his horse the fastest? It's as simple as that. That's why us men will, oh my God, because that's what it is. That's it. That's truly what it is. Max Verstappen. He's won. He's been the top guy for the last 3 years, for the last 3 seasons. And he's defending with 277 points with 10 races left. With an aging horse. And the caretaker is about to leave this horse next year. Adrian Newey. What if Adrian Newey kind of gave up on this car? What if the Honda engine is just not compared to the Mercedes engine that's just keeps on getting upgraded, because now they also are going to have a future hometown competitive Audi. They want to be better than Audi when they come in. Are you kidding me? So 277 points with an aging horse for Max Verstappen. 10 races to go. Lando Norris is the closest competitor to the throne of the greatest currently. And Lando is at 199 points with the freshest, healthiest horse. It's a fresh horse. It's indeed a fresh horse and a fresh, healthy man behind it. So 78 points behind, 10 races to go. The point system goes for the first position, you get 25 points. For the second position, for silver, you get 18. And then for bronze, you get 15. And then for fourth place, you get 12. And for fifth place, you get 10. And for sixth place, you get 8. Okay, you get the fucking idea, right? But it ends with the 10th place gets 1 point. If the Mercedes engine, the Mercedes horse, is the more effective, powerful horse right now, and there's two of each, with the McLaren and with the just the Mercedes itself, that's 4. That's if. What if the aging horse of the currently leading, however, it's aging towards the end of the season, and these fresh, hungry, every single one of these guys, they're hungry to prove a point. Maybe they're not going to go all the way. There's too many factors. There's too many of you guys. There's too many savages. You guys are all very eager and talented. But who's the one? Because you got to take the one. The only way Lando Norris could even overtake Max Verstappen in the points on the drivers is if he gets the consistent 25s, while Max Verstappen gets, at best, I'd say theoretically, at best, the 5th position. That means you're gaining 15, right? And we have 10 rounds to go. We're 78 away. You could still have some wiggle room. And that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. The corners we're about to go for the rest of this world tour of corporate money, these are the companies that buy the companies that buy the companies that buy the companies from which you buy from. Are you starting to get the bigger picture here? Okay, I'm going to list it down now just for you to process this, right? 277 was Max Verstappen. Closest competitor, 199 Lando Norris. Third, Charles Leclerc, 177. 22 points behind. Oscar Piastri, 167 points, 10 points behind Leclerc. Carlos Sainz Jr., 162 points, 5 points behind Oscar Piastri. Lewis Hamilton, 150 points, 12 points behind Carlos Sainz. Sergio Perez, 131 points, 19 points behind Lewis Hamilton, and George Russell, 116 points. Like I've said before, it's a free-for-all. It's a fight to the death. It's a fight. The Brits, they're fighting. Max Verstappen, he's fighting. Carlos Sainz Jr. for the Spaniards. Oscar Piastri for the Australians. There's whole Mexico behind him of Sergio Perez. Checo, I have Perez down because we're still going to Mexico. That's why I'm so darn worried about the first race back. That is this weekend in Zandvoort in the Dutch Grand Prix. This was all just a build-up because Max Verstappen's going to be on home territory with the home crowd, with a very technical track that Max Verstappen, he obviously has raw race pace. He can very well be very fast on a technical track like that. The only way we can see this going towards Lando Norris's way is that there's going to be a Max Verstappen DNF and a Lando Norris win. Matter of fact, if it's a Max Verstappen DNF once or twice, it's more than a free-for-all for just Lando Norris. It's going to include a couple more members to fight to the death. Because there's a lot of potential for a lot of things to happen, okay? Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort, the beach dunes. They just, yeah, right? There's like wind and shit, and it's just amazing. That's this weekend. First of all, just it's a fight to the death. Exclamation point. Who's going to take pole position? You know what? I think pole is going to be Piastri. I'm going to just put it out there. I think he posted nice, cute pictures with the girl. I'm sure they had a fun time. Took some pictures. And winner. Ladies and gentlemen, as much as I hope this is going to be one of those, I think it's going to be Max Verstappen. He's going to put on a masterclass. Because, you know, with this, I can't lose. I built this all the way up. If Max Verstappen doesn't win, okay, I'm wrong, but everyone else is probably, then the outcome is more entertaining for the standings of everything else. So win, it's okay. I look like a dumbass, and and the season is more interesting. So there you go. Fight to the death. Fight to the death. You know, you got to feel for Mercedes. You got to feel for McLaren. You got to feel for all these teams, all these drivers. They're putting it all on the line. There's still Monza, the legendary Monza after Zandvoort. There's still Azerbaijan, surprisingly in the second half of the season, and one of the street circuits that are quite intriguing. Singapore, more technicality. Austin, Texas, just raw. And it's going to be Texas as well. Who knows what the U.S. is going to kick at them. Mexico. We go to the Americas. You go to Mexico. That's where I do think we could get... If Red Bull wins either constructors or Max Verstappen wins the drivers' championship, it's going to be because this man right here is going to get a win on the second half of the season. So will Sainz, to prove that he is going to end up with more points than his teammate Charles Leclerc. Because even currently, even I don't know if I need to repeat myself, Carlos Sainz is at 162 and Charles Leclerc is at 177. 15 points behind his teammate. 15 points ain't shit. If my boy can take a dub real quick, and of course my boy Valtteri Bottas to take some points just to so it doesn't feel that bad. And good news, at least from my perspective, the son of a gun was driving a custom R8, I think, or something. So yeah, that guy is looking like he might be going to Audi right now, which I do not mind whatsoever. But what happened last weekend? I'll tell you what. The NFL is here. The preseason is here. And we're going to act like everything is all good. Because it's all bullshit. If the Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2 in the preseason, they're just fucking around. No one's taking nothing seriously. I can't take it seriously either. That's how ignorant I am of a man. But that's around the corner. I have something in hand for or in store for you guys in the near future about that, which I'm very, very excited about. Lots of exciting news from that half. But yeah, what happened last weekend? Oh yeah, UFC down under. And this is what I'm talking. It's all about culture. It's a fight to the death. I didn't even connect the dot with the UFC, even though they are physically fighting to the death. Carlos Prates, who doesn't believe in the death lung cancer could cause, hits as well as a Marlboro Red does after 2 crispy cold beers. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about because that's exactly what he did after his duties of the night of UFC 305. He definitely had a few beers, ripped a couple of darts, ripped a couple Marlboro Reds, or whatever the Brazilian cigarettes that are popular. I'm sure he knows what I'm talking about. Carlos Prates, you did it to my own kind too. I have to give you the flowers. You're now up there with killers like Max Verstappen. Killers like Max, you're up there. And even in your weight division, Shavkat Rakhmonov, JDM, those 3 guys, most dangerous 170s, up and comer 170s. It's looking promising. The future of the welterweight division. Now we go to the heavyweight division. There is promise there as well. There is promise there. All right. Tai Tuivasa. Good old, big old, Maori guy, Samoan guy, whatever it is. We're going to get into this cult. We're going to be very culturally inappropriate now, probably. He went against Jairzinho Roizenstrike, right? Both big boys. 205. whatever, heavy, big boys, heavyweights. And they go the distance, proving that even the not so built boys like Cyril Gahn, they have conditioning nowadays, and they understood how to be calculated at what they were doing with their movement and their decision making. However, one of the judges proved that he had no understanding of what he was doing and knowledge of what he was doing, because the scoring system that he did, or his perspective on the scoring system, he got his ass fired like right away. He released his score of the fight like right away. Jairzinho Rosenstrike almost clearly won at least 2 of the rounds, if not all 3 rounds. And this one judge scored it all for Tai Tuivasa. Of course, I think Bam Bam had 1 round. You can give Bam Bam 1 round, but 3? Yeah. And glad that UFC nowadays are taking clear action, and Dana taking clear inspiration from UFC fan, of course, that's been there multiple times to watch it live. A guy who has almost insane reflex and intuitive reflexes, kind of like a high-level MMA athlete, Donald J. Trump. Dana clearly taking a lot of inspiration from Donald J. Trump, whose most famous line used to be, "Ya fired." And that's what Dana and the UFC did to this judge. Deservedly, "Ya fired. Ya fired." Tai Tuivasa, great showing, a lot of heart. Jairzinho Rosenstrike, who is ranked actually lower than Bam Bam, proving that he actually has a lot of skill. Still going on forward. Dan Hooker, ranked number 11, used to be in the top 5, goes against a guy who's in the top 5, Mateusz Gamrot. This was the fight of the night. The Hangman was there to hang. He was there to hang. It's all about the culture. We're talking about, like at least he looks, well, now he looks even more white, with the blonde bleach hair. But this guy's got the Maori indigenous tribe tattoos, and everyone, of course, accepts it. And on top of the fact, culturally, we all accept it. It looks cool as hell as well. The Hangman just, he was there to hang. He was there to hang. He was there to hang out. He enjoys this. He enjoys this fight to the death. He enjoys the fight to the death. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. I love it. That's what he was saying, man. I love this. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. This guy totally gets beat up by his girlfriend for them to get their freak on. For sure. 100%. But I mean, it's almost like he enjoys this. Like I told you, Carlos Pratis enjoys a Marlboro Red after 2 crispy cold beers. Very similar to all these Formula One drivers. Like I said, they needed to get their thing out of their system. This is how Dan Hooker lives. This is how Dan Hooker lives. He likes it. You hit me. Yeah, I kind of. Yeah, dude. So this guy needs to fucking get a title shot with the full-blown CTE. Then he's, because like look at because okay, like let's just go, okay, the co-main event, flyweight, right? Because the flyweights were just always going to decision at the highest level, right? Kai Kara France, okay, yes, suffered a tough one against Brandon Moreno for the belt, right? But that was just a very great performance from the babyface assassin. However, he lost a controversial decision, and then he took a long time away. He recovered from everything. Now in the hometown fighting against the guy who also just lost at a shot for the title. However, this guy goes the distance with the top level guy, Steve Erceg, right? Actually ranked number 7. Kai Kara France just goes, don't blink. You know, don't blink. Because, yes, he used to kill people with his right hook or overhand right. Now he's killing you with the left. That first one was like almost like a overhand straight down the middle. And then the other one was a right that just fucking sniped him mid-level change. Just adjusted, bang, bang, Maori. And we're always like, oh, it's the Tai Tuivasas and the Justin Taffas of the indigenous culture that should be knocking motherfuckers out. No, it's this goddamn fucking like this. Yeah, Kai Kara France is slightly smaller than fucking Alexander Volkanovski, and he's just bang, 1 shot, 2 shots maybe, boom. Don't blink. You know. And we get to the main event. As Israel Adesanya goes against Dricus du Plessis. Adesanya ranked number 2 in the contender in the middleweight. Dricus du Plessis, the champion defending. And Africa's champion, Dricus du Plessis, chokes out one of the best African champions. What? Africa's champion beat one of the best African champions. Because it's a fight to the death. He makes it ugly. We're fighting to the death. It's almost so brutal. I can't even laugh at this. But it's a culture thing. It's a cult because one of the best African champions in the UFC. Okay, yes, we count John Jones, if anything. Yes, African descent. I don't know if he's really... I think he's more of a U.S. champ, but okay, yeah. But, you know, because, you know, he's Nigerian, represents Nigeria. I think the white man fighting him is the kryptonite, and the ultimate kryptonite is the white man who is actually African. Because Sean Strickland, Jan Blachowicz, if you think about it, those were the ultimate white men. They handed you some losses, some rare losses that you weren't really ready to take. And then this was the shot to kind of get you back like I never left. It's the white man who is Israel Adesanya's greatest. It's the culture. It's the culture. Max Verstappen is gonna win in the Dutch GP because it's all culture. Because it's all culture. You guys think Mercedes is German, Red Bull is Austrian. This is a fight to the death. This is a cultural war with backings of vast amounts of money, vast points of interest, and it's all cultural. It's a fight to the death. With that being said, it's balling at what cost? I'll see you guys.